You can see all the sunflowers here in really nice, straight, continuous rows. Like I said, just want to lightly spray it, try and mimic what it would be if a sprayer passed over it. You're probably wondering, what are you doing with a backpack sprayer down here at the dove field? Well, let's talk about it. Well, it is no secret we have had a lot of rain. So I'm down here at the sunflower field. There's a lot of germination. We've got a lot of sunflowers in rows. They're coming up really nicely. Problem is, I missed a few areas when I did my initial burn down and pre-emergent application, and that grass is getting pretty tall. Well, the field is way too wet. We got 4 inches of rain during yesterday's storm event. Well, it's too wet to get in the field with the tractor. The area is not huge, so I brought the backpack sprayer. It's just entirely too wet for the PTO sprayer. I even tried the gator with my small sprayer, and the gator immediately sunk in the field. So now I'm resorting to backpack spraying. I've got a light solution of clethodim, some non-ionic surfactant, and just a dab of IMOX, but I'm mainly targeting the grasses. So Hudson's gonna ride me down there. We're gonna backpack spray out some grass in the sunflower field. Thank you, sir. Got me a chauffeur. That little boy's turning into a great little helper. So people asked, I guess they skipped the video kind of quickly. They said, how do you get in and out of the field? We've got quick disconnects down here. I've already turned this thing off, but even if it wasn't off, all I gotta do is come in here and unhook it. About 2 of them is fine, and then I can actually step over and into the field. If I would need to get the tractor in, of course, I can take all of them down. First and foremost, we have got sunflowers, and a lot of them. I could not be happier. Even with all the rain, we've had a total of 10 inches of rain since we planted this field. A lot of rain. These sunflowers are hanging in there, and we've got a lot of them in rows out here. The planter did a really good job getting a really nice spacing on these sunflowers. As you could tell all the way up the row, that holds true across the whole field. That row planter did a really nice job. This area over here was the tillage area that we tilled first, and it was really muddy, so we were concerned about germination over there, so we of course replanted. This area over here was the no-till section, and I think it fared a lot better. It wasn't as muddy, and that row planter seemed to run a little bit better. You can see all the sunflowers here in really nice, straight, continuous rows. I've actually got double rows because I replanted, I alternated. So we do have germination from our first planting. Right here, you can tell these are a little bit bigger, but this is actually the replanting. And I am so glad we replanted because we definitely had thin and missed areas from all that rain and poor germination. I've got really good areas of pre-emergent control and some areas that are hit or miss. The areas that are the worst, well, I think those are the areas we just missed completely at burn down. Next year, I might throw in some spray indicators to make sure, because any area I missed is really bad. The areas that got sprayed look really good, as you would expect. Great example right here. All this area that got burned down and pre-emergent looks really good. A little bit of grass trying to come back in here, but not much at all. Nothing the clethodim and IMOX wouldn't knock out really easily. This area got applied really nicely, as opposed to this area that got completely missed. Then I'll come back through here with the boom sprayer once this field dries out and spray the whole field to knock out these sedges and grasses that are starting to come back in. But for today, I want to go ahead and spray the areas that were missed on the initial burn down. But as far as the performance of the planter, I am very pleased with how those corn plates did. We've got really nice spacing coming in here. Sunflowers are coming up in rows, and I can definitely tell the replanting saved the day out here. It's just proof right here. The first planting, then a huge gap. I bet 20, almost 30 feet to the next plant, whereas the replanting on either side of it has continuous sunflowers right down both sides. So that tells me the rain 100% messed up our germination. So enough yapping, let's go spray this grass out here real quick. I've got 5 gallons, probably wondering how I came up with my rates on such a small solution. Well, let me tell you. I needed to spray out the perennial clover plot that we put in, so I mixed up the adequate solution for that, which is really close to what you need for sunflowers, using both IMOX and clethodim. I followed the rate of 4 ounces per acre of the IMOX and 12 ounces per acre of clethodim. Well, I backed that back down for a 1/4 acre, so I put in 1 ounce of IMOX, 3 ounces of clethodim into a 15-gallon solution. Well, then I used that solution to fill my backpack with what was left over. I'm not going too heavy. I'm just trying to mimic if a sprayer were to go over at one time. I don't want to burn these sunflowers by going too heavy on it. I'm going ahead and hitting a few of these broadleafs too if I walk past them. My main concern today are these big islands of grass and the nettle that's out here. This nettle right here where we don't have it planted goes to seed. It can definitely affect next year. So I'm hoping that IMOX knocks that nettle out. And it shows you the value of making sure you know where you're spraying, because otherwise this would look like that and I wouldn't be doing this. Not gonna lie, it's been hard, man. Dad used to be the one that would hover around the gator kind of watching, and now I'm gonna choke up. Now my 8-year-old little boy's kind of riding around hovering, so certainly changing of the times out here, but blessed in so many ways. I'm gonna try and cherish these moments and not beat myself up too much over the past. Like I said, just wanna lightly spray it, try and mimic what it would be if a sprayer passed over it. Getting down to the last of it here, and this amount was perfect. I was able to pretty much hit all the big islands of green and then come back through here and hit these little strips of green. The 5 gallons in a backpack sprayer on this 1 acre field has actually done pretty well. I'm curious to see how it looks. I'll be back out here in 2 weeks to check on it. I should see some pretty noticeable results. So just stop raining for about a week and let this field dry out a little bit. I think these sunflowers will really grow, because now I'm scared they're gonna get stunted. This is just way too much rain we're getting. Simple, but yet effective. We got it sprayed out here. Let's get this set back up. So we got all this equipment, electric sprayers, PTO sprayers, and here we are out here using the backpack. So it's just what it takes. The field is entirely too muddy to get any equipment in, which has got me thinking there's only one logical solution to this problem. Well, and that's to buy a spray drone. So I have to work that in the budget. Maybe we'll do a GoFundMe. Braden Price has got one, actually. I just thought about that. He said to hit him up. Braden, I might reach out to you, man. Spraying this thing with a drone post-emergent, that might be actually pretty cool. So I might hit Braden up for that. He's got a spray drone. But we got it done, though. We're doing what we got. Just a muddy mess out here. I can't say it enough. But we got a lot of sunflowers in the field, so I'm feeling really encouraged about that. If you didn't catch the electric fence video, please go back and watch it. Had some great comments on that. People still talking about the 3D fence versus this setup. And I will say it one more time. For us, the 3D fence created a mowing and maintenance nightmare, having to weed eat around 2 different rows of posts out here. Then you got this gap in between that was really hard to maintain. This creates a 3-dimensional boundary that messes with the deer, and yet you only have 1 fence line to worry about mowing beneath. That's why we went with this. We've got 1 fence row here to maintain instead of 2 fence rows and a gap in between. To each their own. Everybody has a preference for what works for them. This is just what we've got. It works really well. I got 0 deer tracks in this field. I just walked the whole thing pretty much. 0 deer tracks, nothing on the trail camera. It works, man. This setup really works for us. I didn't explain enough detail. People asked how these were affixed. Just a 45-degree hole drilled. These posts are treated, so it's not gonna wanna rot out too quickly. Over time, where water collects in that hole, it may want to rot out. But again, we'll tackle that in time. We can always hack it off and drill a hole a little bit lower if we had to. Treated post, I anticipate this should last for a pretty long time. But again, this is our setup. It's worked really well for us now. I'd recommend it to you too. If you've got a field that you own and it's gonna be yours for the foreseeable future, go ahead and invest in these posts. Get a guy to come out here, they'll drive them for you. It's not overly costly, 1 and done. They come in here with this setup, you only have to mow and weed eat 1 fence line. Certainly if it's some remote food plot out in the middle of the woods, then yeah, setting up a 2-row fence might be the best thing for it, especially if your second row is in that tilled and plowed area where you're just spraying or tilling for weed control. That might work out just fine. But for us out here, this is what works. My chauffeur is late, so I'm gonna hike it back up here. I just wanna take you guys through a quick update out here after another 4 inches of rainfall. I'm gonna keep complaining about it until this season's done. But we've got sunflowers coming up. They're coming up in rows. We've got pretty good pre-emergent control. But if you didn't know, rain also causes a lot of weed growth. So we're gonna be battling weeds. That post spray is gonna be critical here in about 2 weeks. So when I get back from the beach, we'll be back out here with the boom sprayer. I really hope the field's dry enough to get in there with the tractor, and we'll do our post spraying with imazamox and clethodim on these clearfield sunflowers. But until that video, I really appreciate you guys watching. As always, God bless, take care.